The court is ultimately responsible for the unconstitutional, illegal, and treasonous acts of their agents that have been going on for 243 years. That's why I'm pounding them to the level that I am. That's why when you watch my videos, I'm not being easy on the Supreme Court at all, because they're the criminals, right? And if they want to call themselves honorable, they want to say that they're leaders of our country, awesome. You're going to act lawfully then. Because if you're going to act criminally, then I'll be damned if I'm going to call you a leader, because leaders are not criminals and criminals are not leaders. Okay, I'm not going to continue to allow you to walk into a building that's etched equal justice of law on top of it and tell the whole country that you are the most powerful, court in the country, when you can't direct the courts that work for you to act in a lawful manner and obey the very laws that you have to obey, Supreme Court. So, Supreme Court, you are either what you say you are, and you can either do the things that you say that you can do, or you're a liar, okay? Because if you can't step up today, then you are not what you say you are. And you can't do the things that you say you can do. And you might as well just go home, brush off your resumes, go find a Burger King to get a job at, because we don't need you anymore, Supreme Court, because that would mean that the state courts are more powerful than you are. And if the state courts are more powerful than you are, you're nothing. You have no power. All the authority you think you have, Mr. Thomas, Miss Sotomayor, Mr. Roberts, all the stuff that you think you can do, guess what? You're nothing if you can't assert your supremacy and make these judges in the states obey the edict that you put forward, right? You said just a couple months ago that the executive branch has no authority to be able to create law. Did you not in your Chevron ruling, right? Why is it that the executive branch is still creating law and policy, right? Why are they doing it? Why are the states not obeying your ethics, Supreme Court? It seems to me like you're not what you say you are. And if that's true, then stop lying to people. Stop giving them a false hope, okay? Step down and let us go deal with the battles at the state level, all right? Because if you can't control your agents, then you are not the leader, right? You're not the leader. And we don't need a leader that can't lead, okay? So what I'm doing, everybody, is my fight is against them. I'm going after them for the criminality of their institution. But I'm gonna tell you right now that I believe that there's honor in that institution. I believe it, all right? I believe that Mr. Thomas is an honorable man. I know his history. You know, Mr. Thomas, he went through seminary school. He was gonna be a priest. And he actually dropped out of seminary school because he wanted to help his people in the segregation issue, in the Plessy versus Ferguson issue. He dropped out and went to school, became a lawyer specifically because he wanted to be able to free his people. Mr. Thomas, today, you got the opportunity to free your people. I know that your predecessor, Mr. Marshall, that he was the one that actually got Brown versus Board of Education overturned, and that it wasn't you. But you have an opportunity right now, Mr. Thomas, that you could step up. And you could do the work that you have always wanted to do throughout your career. I've read your memoir, sir. I know that you're an honorable person. And you could sign this writ, because this writ only requires one signature, one justice. You could sign this writ, and you could set your people free. You could do that, and then you could retire into obscurity and never be heard from again, and nobody would be the wiser, because it only takes one justice to sign a writ habeas corpus, and there's already a writ sitting on your desk, I guarantee you, sir. Okay? Now, Miss Sotomayor, I know you're an honorable person too. I know you got some honor. And I know that you want to help your people, because there's a massive overpopulation of the Hispanic population, especially down in the South, California and stuff. You know, your people are being oppressed by the very institution that you run. And so, you know, I would welcome you to consider, you know, what you could do to help your people and deal with the oppressive acts that's being committed by your institution against your own people. I know that you're honorable. I know that you can do that. It only requires one signature. I know that the writ habeas corpus is sitting on your desk right now. You can sign it. You can do that. It can be done. You know, Miss Brown. It just so happens that Miss Brown, she's the only criminal defense attorney that has ever been on the court. No one else has ever been a criminal defense attorney. Miss Brown, I know that you know the injustice that exists throughout the criminal justice system. I know that you know exactly how oppressive this system is. I know that you know that this happens every single day. You know what I'm saying is the truth, Miss Brown. You know it, and I know that you know it, because you've said it in your rulings. Right? You just said a couple months ago that you're sick of the no-see-em doctrine that this court has with regard to considering the innocence of prisoners, right? You know that there's a lot of innocent people that are sitting in prison right now. You know it. You know that there's a lot of people that may not be innocent, but they're certainly not guilty of the crimes that they were charged with, and then threatened, intimidated, forced into pleading guilty because the state was too lazy to actually follow the rules. right? You know this, Miss Brown. You know this. You said it in your rulings. I know you're honorable, Miss Brown. I know you can do this, right? I know that there's a retained corpus sitting on your desk and only requires one signature. Only one of you has signed it. You can help your people. You can free them from the oppression that's come upon them. You can do that, Miss Brown. I know you can. So if this message gets out and it gets to the right person, we can get what we need, and this would be over. Mr. Thomas, you can be honorable. You can retire, and you can be remembered as the hero. All right, Ms. Brown, you can sign this, and you can be the hero. Ms. Sotomayor, you can be the hero. Roberts, you could be the hero if you want to do the honorable thing. But it's going to take one of you. It's going to take one of you to be honorable, but only one. It's only going to require one. So the writ's there. I guarantee you have it because these states were well aware of it. Because you guys are talking about it, including you, Mr. Gorsuch. You know about what the argument was that I brought forward. So don't go around the country simply illustrating the things that I say and telling everybody else that they're criminals, because you, sir, are still a criminal until you choose to return to the established rule of law and obey the will of the people and fulfill the promise that you made to the people of the United States.